Hello YouTube, Nalina here, and I'm back with a house speed build. I'm back with a speed build. Welcome back if you are here again. Thank you for watching. Today I'm building, or rather in this speed build I'm building a colonial styled home. This is a style of house that I really like, and I just wanted to give it a go ahead because I keep doing like trying to like master the art of a modern house, and I'm just not very good. I won't be giving up on that because I'm gonna learn how to do it, but for right now I just thought I should do something a little bit more that I feel more familiar with. So that's why I decided to do Colonial House. I actually looked up a reference for this house because I was just trying to make sure that kept it as accurate as possible. So I also decided to do it next to the Pancake House because I think they have also a colonial styled home. So I just wanted to make it in the next to their home so that the lots that their house is by, so that they can just match. And I think I'm gonna do that whole little section in colonial builds. So of course I picked the smallest lot to do this first build. I wanted to keep it small and cute. And here I'm just making the walls a little bit larger because I thought I could get away with making the second floor smaller, but at the end I realized how narrow it was, and so I went ahead and changed that. So here I really wanted to use this little cone roof, but I realized it wasn't gonna work, and I tried and I tried and I tried, and then I remember the words of someone who told me, if you know it doesn't work, try something else. And I was really fighting because I don't get to use those very often. And that's because I usually just jump into the game and just do whatever, figure it out as I go. But this time I had a plan, so I tried to follow my plan. I actually decided to use that roof because I was noticing the Pancakes house next door, and so I actually referenced that house quite a few times. I referenced it for that piece of the roof, and I also referenced it when pulling this roof a little bit farther back because I noticed that they have like an extended piece in the back, which I think is where they have like a small dining area behind their living room. So, and the upstairs bathrooms and stuff. So I decided to go ahead and pull the roof back because I feel like colonial builds are very reflective. What's on one side is on the other side. So that's what I was just trying to do, make sure that they kind of matched on either side of the build. So one side is equally long. At least I think so. I was thinking about it actually. I haven't looked up any colonial builds since this build, but I'm pretty confident that they have like they're pretty even on either side, but pretty sure they have like little branches of house that like, kind of stick out, and not 100% what I did here, which is just completely even on from the front to the back and then side to side. The interior of the house actually turned out a lot different than what I was anticipating, and that's because of where I decided I was going to put the kitchen. And I always make the kitchen so big, I think. It's like the biggest, most spacious than all the rooms, and it shouldn't really have to be, I guess. But I do it anyway. And I just decided to go with the red. I've been trying to do red homes since The Sims 4 first came out, and I saw that we had these really fun colored panels and doors, and I'm always trying to make like a fun kind of home, very colorful, very bright, and so that's what I was doing when I went here. When I was doing this house, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna go back to that original thing and do it red, except that I used the red as an accent, and I just did not do like the paneling red. I used the white instead, even though we have red panels, and I've always tried to use those as well. I think I did actually a big 3-story home where I used the red paneling only partially though. So I feel like in the image that I use, I don't feel like in the image that I used, they don't really have that much landscaping, and in most of the images that I look at and see, like colonial homes don't really have that much landscaping, so I thought I would keep it very simple for this build. And then I'm just painting the dirt. So I use the paint on the floor because the tile won't come all the way out. We have that block where we cannot go to the border, which sometimes I miss that because we had that in The Sims 3, but it also it's also okay because then I don't feel like I need to take up all the space on the lot, and that's something that I had to learn after a while. Like I was always trying to make the house and the property just take up every inch of land, but I'm learning slowly that I could have some like grass that I didn't touch. So and even though on this particular property, that's kind of forced because um, just the way that I did the home, like it's dead smack in the middle, and then I have a little bit of front, and it's just really small lot, which is what I'm trying to get at. So I did use up every bit possible, except for that little one square all around that we don't get to touch. So I think I used a lot in this build. I definitely used a lot of get together. This build was very it was Pacific, pack Pacific. Did I say that right? Specific, pack specific. Why? I can't speak. Okay. So I was very specific with the packs that I was using in this build, and it was get together for sure. And the base game stuff after I realized that I needed some other parts. I think I used Laundry Day. I didn't have Laundry Day initially when I created the house, but I had it after the fact. So I built it afterward. I mean, I put some of the items back here. If I Actually, I bought the pack because I knew I wanted to use this house, and I knew that I wanted it to be fully in that kind of time period. So I just I bought it on purpose afterwards so I could put the washing basin in the back. I really wanted that. So another thing I would just like to mention is that this is another home that I actually built, furnished twice, because I used QuickTime to record my screen, and it doesn't always fully record. I don't know if it's because it's on a Mac. It doesn't often play files, like video files on a Mac. And secondly, I feel like it just doesn't function all the way on a Mac. When I try to record the screen, sometimes it'll show me like it's recording, but then when I actually go to save the file, which was another issue I was having, that issue has been resolved. Like now you can save the file without having to close the file and just tell it to save as. Now you can actually just save as, and then it will save the file instead of it just crashing and saying that it can't do that. And you're having to like do all these runarounds. So I use QuickTime, and so when I did this, when I did the furnishing for this, it kind of like glitched. The screen went black a little bit, but then the video came back really fast. So I don't know why it did that. This is a new issue where it's just it'll glitch like that, and even though you think it's recording, when you turn off or you stop the video to save it, it actually shows you that it wasn't recording at all, and you'll have like 10 seconds recorded and it actually just crashed, and you'll never know. Another thing is that I can never have it like just in the background. I have to be able to see that it's recording, which now that it's doing this new trick, that no longer matters. So I furnished this place twice. The first furnishing is actually up on the gallery. I don't think I have uploaded this version yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I might have. I might have removed the other one. I don't remember. So because of the staircase downstairs, I was trying to keep room for the kitchen. I actually cut out a lot of me messing around with the stairs because I wanted it in the center so that when you went to the second floor, you would have rooms on either side of, on either wing of the house, which was my plan. But because it was taking up too much space where I wanted the kitchen, um, I just decided to move it like this, and then I made the upstairs like open so you could look down to what used to be the living room originally, and now it is the dining room. So I also changed the colors of the interiors. I really like those panelings. I feel like those are the panelings that we used in, or that they are used in these kinds of homes back in those times, colonial times. So I changed the wallpapers. I had a little look around, as you saw. I went up and down and I kind of looked around the home because I didn't remember. I wasn't originally going to furnish the bedrooms, so I left them blank. But then I went ahead and did that since I decided to go ahead and finish furnishing this one. I'm pretty sure I have an unfurnished version of this one because I was gonna just put it out there like, hey, go furnish, have fun. But I really liked the home and I want to play in it, so I decided to furnish it myself. And I just put up, I used this frame, which I never really used these frames. I feel like we have a lot of like traditional old looking items frame wise, like with pictures, and then we have a lot of modern furniture. So I feel like the frames and the pictures are more traditional looking. We have those like more elegant golden large frames around the pictures. Um, and I feel like those kind of outweigh the modern ones that we have, but maybe that's the point. So that was the living room. I changed it. I kept it light. I tried to put some color around the house. I don't think there's any red in the house, which I realized when I was done, and I was like, this is brighter than I intended. But I feel like in my memory of some things where I've seen colonial homes on like movies and stuff, it's always very bright, and the homes are very spacious. Like the rooms are really big. Um, but that this was a smaller version of that. So I thought keeping the brighter colors also would keep the spaces looking fresh and just a little bit bigger than they were. So there I squeezed in the dining room this time, which I thought worked so much better because originally I put it where the living room is. There's no TV there. It's just books, which is actually outside of the room. I will put another bookshelf upstairs in that immediate like area where you can look down into the dining room. And so I'm just trying to squeeze in some like landscape some videos. What am I saying? Images, photos, frames. And then I wanted to put the rug down. I really don't like putting a rug down under a dining table. I feel like that doesn't make sense, but it looks good. And then it became really awkward because then I couldn't put a rug where I really needed one, which was in front of the door, or rather where I thought it would make more sense. So that floor is blank. This house actually has two bathrooms, full bathrooms. There are no showers in this home. Maybe if you find some CC where it works, and then you can put it in. I don't know how people feel about CC in their game. Um, I do like to use CC for certain things. However, if I'm gonna share, I prefer not to have to use it, and just because I don't know how people feel about like downloading stuff or whatever, or if it works, or if they are, you can't trust these. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we should be able to trust our community where we like go and download stuff, but I personally feel like I trust them. So I go ahead and I download some things. I used to have a lot of trouble in The Sims 3 where I would try to download stuff and it would just totally screw up my game. I like to say that I haven't had that problem with The Sims 4 at all, which is like a great improvement and super happy about that. I've been able to download quite a lot of things and I haven't had issues with my game. Except for when I open it the first time, it'll always crash, but it's always done that. So I'm not going to say that it's the CC, It does take a little bit longer to load though, and that's because I put a lot of mods in my game. I don't have too much items because I don't want to accidentally put them in the builds, and I don't um, don't have a lot of clothes. I just have a lot of mods. Like I don't have any cast items, or not, at least not too many. I could use a lot more than I actually have, but definitely no decor items. The ones that I did have, I wasn't using, so those were removed. And that has nothing to do with the build. So here's the second bathroom, and I always want to use those like dividers. So I thought I'm gonna squeeze this in here. I feel like this is something I see also, so I'm just gonna put it in the bathroom where by the tub. I was gonna put it closer to the tub. I don't really like it behind the tub. I wanted it in front of the tub to kind of block the view of anyone else who wants to kind of just use the toilet, but the bathroom, the door is kind of in an awkward place. And I think I used a pretty big door there. So it's like, I wasn't going to change the door either. So because of that decision, I had to just go ahead and fit everything in. So here I'm using this beautiful red shelf. Whoever made it, you're an angel. Thank you. And it's so helpful, and I've seen so many people use it, and it's really helpful to clutter things up really nicely, even though I keep telling myself not to clutter. But I found the shelf, and now it's just trouble. I'm gonna clutter, not too much, not too much, because I want your game to load, and I want my game to load. And this house exists in every single one of my worlds because I put it down a couple of times. I put it down in my build world, and then when I had to refurnish it, I put it down again. In my player one world, I think. So that's what I called it. So up here, I was trying to squeeze in like a small little desk area, but it just didn't fit, and I shrunk down that item. So I'm having problems with items in the game. Sometimes if you can shrink them down, um, like the blocks shrink down as well, so they will take up that much space, but sometimes it won't. So it'll be as if the block is, as if the item is the same size, and then I can't like fit anything else around it. But that was one of the items where it actually works, and it shrunk down, and you're able to get around it. I actually redo that little corner, but I was already frustrated immediately, so I just decided to go to the bedrooms. I thought it would be faster. This room is a really awkward kind of size, but I thought she could just have like a lot of clothes and just some privacy over there, you know? So this, I actually used a sim here who's dressed up with the clothing from the Get Famous expansion. So it's clothes that you wear in the. You see, I put those modern frames up, and I was just. I don't know, I put them up, but I'm still kind of regretting that I did. I should have put something else there. I picked them because they were perfect square and small, but I don't know. I'm still having a little bit of doubt that I should have used them. But anyway, so I put she. This is so bad. I use a sim in cast, and she is dressed up with that I don't know. It's an outfit from Get Famous. It's in the acting career. So if you're gonna use the outfit, you actually have to um, put on costumes. Like it's listed in the costumes area. So all of her outfits are like some sort of costume or really elegant and like over the top. Because I thought that would suit her here. And I think she's gonna have a butler. That's She's definitely gonna have a butler. She's some sort of businesswoman. That's how I imagine her. So this room is the butler's room, and I was thinking about that. As I was putting this together. I was just like, he's not gonna need that much, I mean, I'm sure people always need more than we assume they will, but I thought I made him comfortable. So that was the butler's room, and Here we're gonna go now, we're gonna rework this area. And I just changed these rugs. Like I was trying to put some pops of color everywhere because by this point I felt like everything downstairs was super pale. So, and I made it more pale up here by making those seats gray and purple or lavender. I left that longer rug in there. Oh no. So things get pretty dark in the kitchen area, even though I brighten up the walls. I thought those walls suited the kitchen at first, but then I realized I hate that yellow color. I just didn't like it. It was not what I wanted. It didn't feel warm, which is what I was going for with the kitchen. So I had to remove it. I didn't like it at all, and I liked it better when I brightened it up and used contrast items or furnishings in the kitchen. And I was remembering to put some items, so I'm gonna be bouncing around. I think I bounce even back upstairs when I go to I think I was looking for the tea set. I wish it was functional, and actually I just saw like a mod of someone. They made it functional, and that makes me really happy. They have a lot of like colonial and old Victorian outfits. And oh, that's the outfit she's wearing. Is I think it's old Victorian, but I'm not sure. But anyway, that person, they have a lot of nice items for like this kind of time period and very old fashioned. They have medieval stuff like furniture and clothes and I'm so happy that I found them because I'm like, why aren't the Sims team putting together things like this? They give us like modern life, which is like today and now, but I want more future life. I want more like old Victorian, like old fashioned farm life and stuff like that. Which I feel like we got Victorian stuff when we got the vampire pack. So I really love that pack, even though I never use it. Maybe I'll do that next time. That'll be my next build. So I found this, and I was trying to shrink the table because I felt like it was just too huge. I feel like some of the items are just so big and it's unnecessary. I wish they would just shrink them down just a little bit. Like I shrunk down that bookshelf and I shrunk down the table, and I wish the tea set was smaller. So anyway, here we are at the end. Here are the screenshots. I really hope you enjoyed the video and you enjoy the home. If you'd like to furnish it over again, go ahead and refurnish it. I love to see that. Just hashtag me in the gallery. Hashtag Melina. So thanks again for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.